Hello, my name is Ryan Thomson, and as the new school year begins, many students are probably looking for a new club to join. In this episode of Swamp Stories, we are talking about how students can join robotics and the experience it has on Jordan, who is a part of this club. Jordan Jerome is a senior, and he is in chess and robotics club. Today he is going to talk about robotics and why you should be a part of building a new robot. So a little overview of robotics is a club where students can innovate robots to compete in competitions during the school year. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jordan, and he's going to tell us about his best memory from competitions and building a robot.
Okay, so I got into robotics in fourth grade. Most of it was mostly because my parents asked me to, but that's how most things start. And I stayed because of all the things that I like to do there. It was great. As a robotics team programmer, I get to program the robot, work with these computers, and I get a bunch of friends to work with on the robot. And we'll get more into depth on what goes on there later.
Cool. And did you like robotics when you first started out, or?
Um, it was interesting. Like we had like a little engineering notebook that we had to use and we had to like document everything and now I'm realizing how useful that is now that we don't have one. But yeah, I ended up liking robotics. Even though I didn't, directly like just choose myself, but then I stayed because of all the people I made friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this one kid named Aiden and Vincent, and they were like one of my closest friends in some of like the elementary and middle school robotics programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, how has robotics made an impact on you? Tell us about that.
On me, so it's been I spent a lot of time after school working on some of like the coding and robotics aspects of things. I'm gonna start becoming like one of the designers for the robotics team, so that's gonna be cool. I haven't done that yet, so I'm really excited for that, and it's been fun going to these competitions. It's something that me and like my friends could bond over, and also something I can talk about with friends, and I can tell everyone I'm in robotics. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow. Yeah. And so, there is a sense of community there, right? Talk about that.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like just during the Memorial Day parade, we had like a bunch of people get together, like just right before the parade started. We all got in this little truck. We didn't actually. It's not like the van situation. We didn't just get a bunch of kids in a van,
Right.
but uh, well, we got them all in a truck. But it was the back of a truck. It was really cool. We had like a bunch of robots set up. We had a T-shirt can in the back.
Wow.
A T-shirt can, yeah, imagine that. And we shot
Yeah.
a bunch of T-shirts at people, threw out candy. We have a little cheer squad in there. Because of course, like part of robotics is we have to cheer on the team, of course.
Right.
And that's obviously why we have pom poms. We're not cheerleaders, obviously. But yeah, and then I also like went to a couple friends' houses, and some of these friends I met at robotics, and it was great. And robotics has been a thing to bond over with like a couple of my friends right now, and even in the past too.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying before we started this podcast or this show that you built the T-shirt cannon. How did you build that T-shirt cannon?
So most of this was not on me, but I did help in a way, and I'm yeah, it was mostly Eric and Caden who did most of this, but I feel like so how it works is there's a couple compressors with a gas tank, and it pretty much just builds up pressure, and then you can shoot T-shirts out of it. It's a really cool
Wow.
thing. There's a cannon. It's
Yeah.
got something called a solenoid. It's really cool.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. So let's talk about the actual robot. What does it take to build an actual robot?
So when you go into building a robot, we've got multiple different. We have groups. So we have an engineering and design group. So they're the people who design this robot.
Mm-hmm.
They create everything, or they design everything and map everything out so that our next team could start building it, which is the builders, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the builders all get together It's mainly a daily thing. You come in every day if possible,
Wow.
even though it's a pretty flexible schedule up till the last day when we all, have to speed rush the entire thing the last day because we are procrastinators sometimes. But uh, I'm not on the building team, so I can't really tell you what their experiences are. But it seems like they're happy, and they get to build robots every day. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll try building.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I gotta use like all these cool tools.
Yeah.
You gotta work with Mr. Millard on some of these things. It's nice. And then there's also the coding team, which is the brains of the robot. This is what I'm on. So like a lot of this stuff is like computer operated, obviously, and you get we use Java and C++, VS Code, all of that, and you get a program like a bunch of functions and stuff, and you're the one who tells the robot what to do. There's like
Wow.
multiple different things. You're the person who makes the robot move. You get them to shoot out cubes, balls, cones. You can place stuff. You can build an arm. I mean, I've seen some really cool designs with this just over these competitions.
Yeah.
And then there's the last team, which is the business team. It's not something you would think would be in a robotics team, but it is. It's like without them, I don't know how we'd operate. They make the T-shirts. They build like all the fun stuff, like the design stuff. They fund all the money for the robotics team. And without them, I don't know
Wow.
how we'd operate.
Yeah. Sounds like they're a big part of the robotics franchise.
Yeah.
So, what do you like most about building a robot?
So with building a robot, uh, as I am a coder,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's coding the robot.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is when you get to test everything. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Because when you get to test everything, you get to see what your work has done.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone feels better when they did something really accomplished, and if something fails, well, you just go back and try again. And when it's like super fun, you get to, like shoot things with with like all the launchers and stuff. Probably not the proper technical term for that, but you get to launch like balls, uh, cones. Like I've seen competitions where you place gears.
Yeah. Wow.
You gotta drive the robot around.
Mm-hmm. How many like days or weeks, like how much effort do you put into this club?
As a coder, I don't need to show up every day, but I try and show up at least twice a week. As like the engineering team, most of the time you need to show up at least within like the first like you need to show up every day of the week for like the first 1 or 2 weeks, and that's
Yeah.
very variable after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have the robot design, you don't have to be there as much. And then the build team, they are there every single day of the week doing what they love to do best, and that's build the robot. So they're an essential part of this team. We wouldn't have a robot without them. We need to build a robot, and they show up every day. It's great. You get to hang out, have fun, build a robot. There's like a bunch of different parts you do, the shooter. And then as a coder, I don't need to show up as much the first couple of times.
And for some background, Mr. Millard is the teacher. He's really cool. The teacher makes a difference.
Yeah, Mr. Miller's the best.
Yeah. And so, if somebody wants to join robotics, if they're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, how can they have some information about joining?
So, most of the time we can just reach out through friends. You can go in Mr. Millar's room. That's like the main thing. He'll get you all hooked up with everything.
And what's his room number?
His room number, it's 450, I believe.
Okay, and so yeah, that's right near the front. When you walk in the doors, make a right, and then go all the way down, and then his is like the first classroom on the left.
Yeah, it's like right across from the bathrooms.
Right. Yep. And so tell us why people should join this club, even if they're kind of skeptical of building robots.
So if you're not sure if you want to join this club, give it a shot. There's like a bunch of cool stuff. If you feel like, just tinkering with like some, like maybe even a project, because we have like a couple projects going on there, and uh, and maybe you'll have a lot of fun. You get to like meet some of the people there, build the robot. You can even come in just for a couple of days, and it's not like it is a big commitment, but you can make it whatever you want.
How do you apply robotics into your daily life?
Yeah, you get like some of the skills necessary to like work with people, and you get fix some stuff. You can even like come up with like some creative ideas with this, and that you can use in your daily life.
Mm-hmm.
How I've done it is mostly like dealing with computer stuff because sometimes we need help with that. But that's how I would do it. And like some of the builders, like they can start fixing stuff. I've seen someone like work with like rebuild a gaming controller for like an Xbox or something.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, it's really cool.
All right. Thank you so much, Jordan. So, we have learned that you can join the club by helping out with the robot. You can code, you can build, you can like clean up. Like the club is for everybody. And so I would highly suggest like everyone listening right now to join. Mr. Millart is really cool. You know, as Jordan said it, you heard it here first. He really loves this club. So thank you everyone for listening, and you have been listening to Swamp Stories.